Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This is a Divine Feminine weekly reading week for the week of August 30th to September 6th. So I do want to pull an animal medicine card. I always pull the cards and kind of figure out the message before I get on here, just to kill time, because I only ever have, I don't know why, but I can only do 15 minutes on my YouTube videos, which is stupid as fuck, but yeah, so I just want to pull an animal medicine card because I just did it for the Divine Masculines weekly reading, and yeah, I enjoyed it, and I want to get more familiar with these cards too. So yeah, let's see if it supports the message, because the Divine Masculines card definitely resonated with their message. So I pulled the golden egg. This card is from the element of ether. The golden egg energy is basically this energy of your inner child, is the way I look at it. In the book, it talks about how it's basically this yogi that's sitting within your heart center, waiting to be tapped into and explored. And it says that it is the unstruck sound. So it needs that kind of wake-up call to be woken up to their higher purpose and to that state of just expanding who they are. What I often get when I see this card, when I do readings for myself or daily card pulls, I always feel it is that idea that needs to be nourished, that seedling and egg that really needs to be warmed and nurtured. Pertaining to this reading, I feel that that deals with your Divine Masculine counterpart. I didn't want this to be a romantic read, but it very much came through as such. So I feel like that is kind of where the energy is coming from within this golden egg card, is tapping back into your heart space, tapping back into your own inner child, and nourishing this dynamic and nourishing your own self to be able to give what you need in this dynamic. So your weekly lesson or obstacle is the Nine of Wands. So once again, we're dealing with that last stretch, that those battle wounds, the energy of you keep fighting the good fight and it almost seems defeating, but you keep pushing forward and you keep having to give that extra little bit you have left within you to really make it out of this energy of being attacked or being hurt or being wounded. And that is our obstacle to work through this last stretch, which the reading gets really good. So we're getting to that last stretch. It's just and this reading is very, how do I want to say? It's kind of left over from last week. It's the last little bit of debris of that kind of conflict energy that the Divine Feminine was facing last week, with their Divine Masculine energy. And the Divine Masculine energy can be that aspect of yourself that is, you know, how you feel safe and sound. It can be a father figure. It can be a boss. It can be your actual partner. It can be a friend that has very masculine energy. But like I said, this reading did come off romantic. So we're just going to go with it. So the issues with this obstacle, we pulled the King of Swords. So here is the Divine Masculine once again doing his thing in our reading. But actually in his reading this week, where the King of Swords is in our reading, it's exactly where I pulled Queen of Swords for us in their reading. So we're in their reading as well. So the King of Swords, and then we also have the Ten of Wands. So the obstacles is obviously our Divine Masculine. But the Ten of Wands energy is heavy. It's weighted down. It is duty and responsibility. It is constantly carrying too much baggage, really, is what that card tells us. And just being worn out from it. So possibly this Divine Masculine energy in your life could be just kind of bombarding you with more responsibilities than you're able to handle at this moment. Maybe there's just a lot on your plate and you need him to help you lift up the slack a little bit. Yeah, that's really what I'm picking up on, is that it's an obstacle that you're carrying all this weight and you really just need his help to carry some of the load. So if we're talking about energetically, because like I said, this is coming through as a romantic read, say you don't have a divine masculine counterpart present in your life at this moment, you still have them available to you energetically. So you can tap into your soulmates or your twin flames energetically through meditation, and you can ask them energetically to just help you carry some of this energetic energy that you've been carrying and dealing with all on your own. You know, the Ten of Wands can be a lot of things. It can be overloading, overwhelming workloads or work projects, creative endeavors, social life gatherings, family keep up, maintenance on yourself and your vehicle. It can be just a lot at once. Also, it can be spiritual energy that's just weighing down on you. So if you are not connected to your divine masculine or with them currently, you can always ask his higher self to help you pick up that energy and help make it easier for you to get out of this energy. So just a little heads up there. So how to combat this energy of dealing with a very heavy workload? I have the Five of Cups, and then I have the Knight of Wands. So the Five of Cups energy is all about grief. It's about looking at the cups that are spilled and not turning around and looking at the ones that are filled. You keep looking at your losses rather than looking at the positives from these losses, or maybe even looking at just the other areas of your life where things are good. Yes, maybe your car has troubles right now. Yes, maybe you and your man are getting into it. Yes, maybe you're not seeing eye to eye with coworkers, but you know, you have a house to live in. Your family and you are thriving emotionally together. You know, you're getting into new hobbies and creative things that will emotionally fulfill you at some point. But it's just taking your focus on the negatives and turning them over to the positives. This card just asks you to release pessimism. That is also another thing that you can ask your divine counterpart to help you clear, is pessimistic energy. You can ask them to help clear the negative thought patterns that keep you in this vibration of grief or pessimism. And like I said, this can also just be internal conflict. So if you don't feel like this reading pertains to a significant other, either in the physical realm or on a higher dimension, it can also just be your own inner divine masculine energy that needs you to combat this. So the stuff that makes you feel stable and secure and is truly the foundation. So you can look at that reading and interpret it as that as well. With the Knight of Wands, we're being asked to just take action. Take action in moving away from pessimism. When you start to feel yourself go down this whirlwind in this tunnel of just dark, depressive emotions and thoughts, stop yourself. Breathe. And ask yourself, where does this emotion stem from? Why do I feel such grief or loss? What do I have control over at this moment? How can I move out of this energy? Ask yourself that, and that is you taking direct action and changing your mindset. Of course, it's hard at first, and it's something that consistently has to be worked on. But the Knight of Wands is asking you to take action and moving away from this pessimistic energy. Also, this could be just arguments with your divine masculine partner. And, you know, you feel loss and grief from the arguments that you guys have had. And now the Knight of Wands is asking you to shift that and take action in clearing that energy. So with the outcome, we have Page of Swords. We have the Lovers. And then we also have the Two of Cups. So this is why I say this could be an argument, because when I pulled, the Page of Swords was really giving me the energy of figuring out new ways to handle this divine masculine energy, figuring out new ways to come at the conversation differently, new ways to come at the workplace differently or business endeavor differently. It's really about taking action, clearing out the negatives, thinking about the positives, thinking about these cups behind him, and actively thinking about, okay, what logical things can I say or do to not get us back in the vibration of the Nine of Wands? This combative energy that's constantly feeling defeated. How can we move out of that? How can we have a conversation together or create something together in a new way? So the Page of Swords is really bringing in new ideas of how to deal with your divine masculine. The Lover's card, obviously, yeah, when you think about new ways to handle someone, and I kind of hate saying it like that because it sounds very controlling almost, but when you come up with new ways to communicate with someone, what you're feeling, and learning how to communicate with them and understanding their love language, that's when the harmony comes in. That's when the balance comes in, because not everybody thinks like us or acts like us or does what we do or feels what we feel. So coming at people with a different way to communicate with them is huge. Just by shifting your tonality in your conversation, just by calming down in an argument, just by asking questions, can really do wonders and completely shift how you guys communicate with one another. And communication is key in every relationship dynamic. So with the Lovers, you have to learn a new way to communicate. You have to stop being so pessimistic about the things that happened because they already took place. There's no going back. Forgive yourself, forgive them, and move forward with unconditional love and forgiveness, because there's no reason that you should still be stuck in this Nine of Wands energy or this 10 of Wands energy or this Five of Cups energy. There's no reason why the Divine Feminine should be in this energy right now, but it had to happen, and it had to happen that way. Now we can take action and learn new ways to communicate. And that's what's going to bring that balance and harmony back into this union. And then we end off with the Two of Cups. So it is emotional fulfillment. It is filling up one another's cup. It is that hug from your divine masculine energy. It is the union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. But this hug, energetically or physically, is that emotional connection that is so pure and true. It's something that can't be denied. And yeah, it's just beautiful. This reading, the way it left off, was beautiful. And these are like two of my favorite cards in this deck especially. But yeah, you'll be alright, Divine Feminine. And I think that's where the golden eggs also comes into play as well. It's the needing to nourish this relationship and needing to connect and tap into an energy that maybe you haven't tapped into before. And tapping into your inner child will help you to be more optimistic. It will help you get out of this energy, because a kid doesn't want to be upset. It doesn't want to be sad. So if you reconnect with your inner child and that unstruck sound within your heart, ultimately you're nourishing yourself and you're nourishing this dynamic, whatever this dynamic may be. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I'm also available for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions. So if that is something that you're interested in, feel free to DM me or email me or whatever. I'll list my prices below and all that good stuff. So I hope the Divine Feminine has a beautiful week ahead of themselves, and I will see you next Friday.